guys? I'm J-dubb, and today I believe I found the best deal on Amazon for a decent camp hatchet. Let's take a closer look at it. So what do you get for the best deal on Amazon? Well, this is the NedFoss axe, and you get a decent little leather sheath. Got rivets all the way around it that appear to be steel, not the best. And you get a nice little snap. Let's listen to that snap. So a good snap, nice thick leather. Guys, this is just as good as my Grand Force Brooks, and as you can see, it is NedFoss. What else do you get? Well, you get what appears to be a little Lancey stone. Which, from what I've seen, is just as good as the actual Lancey stone that I have. So, that's a win. And you get a nice, this isn't hickory, it's an ash handle with a decent pair of 550 cord lanyard. I'm not a big fan of that. And it appears to be a forged head, which looks really good. Your fitment, I don't know if y'all guys can see that. Let's see if we can zoom you in. Your fitment around the handle, that looks perfect. Maybe a little gap right here, but not bad. Not bad. Around the base here, a little bit of a gap up here again, but not horrible. This does have a 13-inch handle with a 2.3-inch blade. Perfectly serviceable. Nice wide profile, be a perfect little splitter. You get a 17.6 ounce head that appears to be forged. And just overall, really nice axe. Really well done. The edge, the edge kind of lacks it. There's not a lot to the edge of it. But, hey, we can fix that. That's not a hard fix. There's no lacquer coating on the handle, which is a plus in my book. And guys, I do believe we may have found the best little deal on Amazon. I believe this was $50 or $51. Great little axe, a whole lot cheaper than my Grand Force Brooks, and I think this will make a perfect little camp hatchet. I'm going to show y'all guys some ways we can make it better and make it more usable, but right out of the box, other than putting an edge on it, which you could easily do with this stone, I see no problems with it. I did learn this from the Wrangler Star channel. If y'all guys want to check him out, I'll link his stuff down below. But just a simple belt sander hooked up in your carpenter's vise will do wonders. I'm going to quickly do a quick bevel edge on this. Get it up to a get that grind up a little bit better. Start knocking it down to a little bit better edge. But right out of the box, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not sharp. But we can fix that really easily. Alright guys, and your 80 grit made short work of that. I backed this edge up a little bit. We've got some pretty good scratches in there, but we'll switch it out, get a finer belt on this, and get this down to a nice polish. Guys, you will not mess your axes up at all doing this. Just keep it cool. As you can see, I can touch that. Extremely cool. And right now, you have a serviceable edge. You could go out and chop with that. But we're going to get this thing razor sharp, and then we're going to test it, torture test it, and see what all it can really take. Here's a 150 belt. got a nice wire all the way across this thing. Our edges come back really nice. We're symmetrical on each side. We'll go down to one more smaller belt, and then we'll go out to the hand polish. This is your 400 belt. That'll just save us some time getting the markings out of it. And what are we down to? A few minutes on the belt sander. We've got a wire all the way across it that needs to be taken care of. And we're ready to put a hand polish on this thing. Okay, this is the Lancy stone that it comes with. And this is where me and Wrangler Star disagree. He says to use oil bases. I disagree with that. I want this thing to wear. So when I want it to wear, I don't want any lubricant. I want just enough lubricant to help whisk away all those chips as I'm doing this. We'll start feeding this stone up. You'll see it is slowly soaking it all in. And just kind of let it fill up, just like a big sponge. You can see it's kind of holding it there. So we'll go ahead and start putting a grind on this. Get on there, you feel that wire all the way across. Feels good. A little bit more water on there, our stone's starting to clog up. And you'll feel it as your stone's clogging up. It won't be cutting near as well as it was. So just keep that in mind. We're getting a really nice edge already starting on this. And just little small circles. Alright. See, our stone isn't clogged up anymore. And that's turned into a beautiful polished edge. I'll go ahead, flip this thing around, go to the other side. And what you guys are doing is just think about shaving off. As you're sharpening this thing, you're wanting to shave this rock. I find it easier to put it on a table and do it. Now, that is a nice fine edge. To get rid of this wire, I like to put it on there with some force and just go down a few times. Kind of angle that blade as you're doing it. And that'll take that wire right off there. Now, let me find a piece of paper and we'll see how it did. I have no issues with that. That axe is plenty sharp. Yep, no problems at all. So, it took an edge well. It seems like it's going to be a good little edge. We'll try to get a close up for y'all guys. We'll look at the edge really close. I'm not as fancy as Mr. Wrangler Star. I do not have an electron microscope. I'm quite jealous of that actually. But I believe we can make this axe very well. We're going to go ahead and get some bull linseed on here. I'm going to take this off. I'm not a fan of lanyards on hatchets. They seem to get in my way. I tried it for a while. Wasn't a fan. But as of right now, we're going to oil this up really nicely. The head does have some kind of a lacquer on it, but the handle doesn't. So that is a win. At least your head will be somewhat waterproof till you wear that off. We've got our boiled linseed here. And now, and like I said, this isn't hickory. I believe it's ash. They don't actually say what it is. At least they didn't when I bought it. But I think this thing will turn out great. Hold this handle up really well. We'll take this thing out, we'll test it, and we'll see how it does. I'm gonna go get cleaned up. We'll let this dry, and we'll take it out and test it. All right, I've got some just regular pieces of wood here. We're gonna try this thing out real quick. Just see how it does. We're gonna do some more testing here in a minute, but it's just a real quick test with some firewood right here at the house. So let's see what it does. Oh no. All right, first hit with it. We're gonna have to go back inside and I gotta show you this. Yeah, let's go back inside and I'll show it to you. So after taking the axe out and testing it, come to the conclusion, I don't know if y'all guys can see it, the head is loose. I had high hopes for this little axe, but as you can see, we are definitely loose. But there's enough wood here, I believe we can fix it, and I believe we can make it better. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try to fix this thing. All right, so this is the piece of wood we were splitting. It's just a piece of red oak. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna use this piece of wood to fix this axe. Oh yeah. As you guys can see right here, we've pushed that axe head down a good bit. And we are resting hard. Right here on the cheeks. Right here we're resting extremely hard on the cheeks. And right here. We're resting really hard. And as you can see, we have brought this down. Significantly down. And we're going to see if we can tap this wedge back in here, and then we'll put this one back in. So we got our axe. Let's get it back in here. Get a good hard purchase on there. You can see my setup does move a little bit, but not terrible. So I'm going to try to drive this in. So I've got to set these. I wonder if I can get them to bite. There we go. And out it came. It's just a good hard wedge, hardwood wedge. And there's your step wedge. If you guys watch my channel, you'll know what these tools are from. They actually work really good for getting those out. But there's our axe. We'll go ahead and tap this down one more time. And then we might be ready to make a new wedge for it. See how that turns out. Alright. We're back hard down on all the cheeks. Oh yeah. I think we're going to have just enough kerf there left. The wood didn't split out on us too bad. I think we're going to be able to make this work. You go out, get a piece of wood, and actually, we got red oak right here. It's almost what this looks like that came out of it. Who's to say we can't use red oak? We're going to go old school with a piece of wood as our hammer. Take a look at it, see how well it did. Definitely flared it out. I don't know. I think our wedge is a little too long, so let's try something. We've got it in there. I've got a little bit of a gap up here I'm not real happy about. Worst case scenario though, I have to redo it. Not a big deal. But we'll go ahead and get all this stuff out of here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I might just be able to take the punch and drive it out. Put that in the vise and tap it on through. But if I get that out, we'll go ahead and put that back in there. And this will be done. Alright, I got that in. We got it started at least. Not the straightest, but it is most definitely in.
I don't know if y'all guys can see her. Got a little doe right here. See if we can get closer. I'm not sure if y'all guys saw her or not, but like I said, we're out here. We were going to be testing out the NedFoss axe. We're testing it out, and we found an excellent tree. It is a dead locust. For you guys that do not live in the eastern side of the United States, you will not know, but locust is probably one of the hardest woods we have around here. When we're cutting it, it typically sparks will come off your chainsaw. So I'm gonna get this set up that way y'all can see. We're gonna put this axe through a nice little torture test, and we'll just see how it turns out. All right, so we've got our axe right here. We've got our locust. Go ahead and get our sheath off of here. And right now, we have a razor sharp edge. Let's see if it, oh yeah. Cutting hair just fine. Get some of these little things out of the way. Get some of this bark off. All right, let's put this thing through a nice test. Edge appears to be holding up very well. Get some fine detail work in here. Woo! All right, bring y'all in close to show you what we got. All right, here's our blade. I got one little chip up here at the tip. But other than that, just a little chip. I'm not sure if y'all guys will even be able to see that. But other than that, it is still still hair cutting sharp. For $50, guys, this is not a bad little axe. Now we did have to repair it, and the head seems good. I'm gonna bury this thing in a stump. I think I've got a stump around here somewhere. Might have to go on a little bit of a hike to find a stump. Or maybe I can just get it to bury in this log. Nope. Really impressed with this little axe so far. Let's go do a splitting test with it. So I finally found a stump. Let's check this handle. Feels pretty good. There we go. Yeah, this handle's pretty tight. No issues here. Now, our splitting test. I do have a piece of seasoned red oak. We're trying it out. Kind of get it in here a little bit. Oops. A few hits on top there. believe that's it. Yes, it will split red oak extremely effectively. Probably better if this didn't have a sump. Now, this is ash. It's a lot. I don't know, it's a softer wood, I assume. So other than knocking you guys over, it definitely did split it. Okay, now that we've got the axe back in here and I've got it zoomed in as much as I possibly can, let's take a look at this blade. Right here, all looks good, all the way up, no rolling. And then like I told y'all, we got these two little chips right here. Now, are they terrible? No, but they are definitely there. Would they take a lot to get out of there? Nah, a couple strokes with a file. You never know the difference. But are we still sharp? Razor sharp. Can I feel any rolls other than up here? No. This axe steel is incredibly well done. The only issues I've had is the handle. We did have to do a little work to it to make it work, but once we got that done, there wasn't much else we could do that made this thing nice. Alright guys, so how do I feel about this axe? For 50 bucks, this is a really nice axe. Really nice palm swell down here, and it was fairly comfortable to swing. Not a lot of vibration back through the handle, and just overall a pleasant experience. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll know I am a Grand Force axe person. I really like the Scandinavian axe. I believe it is the perfect size for the type of work I do with my axe. You can see I had to put all new rivets in mine. It's going around a good bit. But for this, a small little splitter that I can backpack in, I could chop a tree down if I had to. Would it be as effective as my Grand Force? Probably not, just because I can't get the power behind it and I don't have the weight. But I can get two hands on it, as you can see. I can swing it very well. And overall, it's a really good axe. And for $50, if all I have to do is fix the handle a little bit, I have no issues with that. We do have a minor split coming up the handle back here at the fawn's foot. I don't know, that could have been from when I pounded the wedge in. That I'm not sure. But the taper is really nice. Compare this to my Grand Force Brooks axe. Oh yeah. I'll get these in so you can see. This little axe has a much wider taper. I don't know how well y'all guys can see that. But here's the cheaper axe. Here's the Grand Force Brooks. Much wider taper, much better splitter. The chipping in the blade, I don't know how I feel about that, because my Grand Force, I've chipped the blade a few times with it too. I've never rolled an edge. And when I sharpen this, I really back this edge up. This is a very thin, and it's almost like a Scandinavian grind. I didn't put a micro bevel on it. I pretty much backed that edge up as far as I could when I sharpened it. And honestly, I believe it's hand forged. It looks like it's a forged axe of some kind. Let's do a hardness test and see if it's hard all the way through, if it's the pole's hard, or if it's just a forged welded piece here, which is typical of most axes. Most axes are softer back here, and they come up to a hardened edge up here. So let me get that set up and we'll look at it. Okay, here we have a center punch. I'm just going to come in, go right on the edge. And it put a little bit of a divot in it. Now we'll come back up here. And I can't really tell. I believe it's about the same. So, neither one of them you can really feel. I'm going to say that it's fairly hard all the way through. No issues with that. Alright guys, so if you want to check this axe out, I'll go ahead. I'll leave a link down below. I received nothing from this. I have no affiliations with it.
This was not sent to me. It was bought with my own money, and I'm impressed with it. You watch my camping videos, you're going to see this thing, and we're going to continue to test it. If it has any more problems, I'll put a link down below in the video. I don't foresee us having any issues. I really like this design too, because I can get way up on it and I can do more detailed work with it. I really like this design. And it holds an edge incredibly well. It kind of protects your hand as you're working with it. So I really like that. But like I said, guys, we're going to continue to test it out. I appreciate y'all watching. Go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And like always, take someone outdoors.
Say bye-bye, guys.